Something extraordinary just happened in West Africa, and it has the potential to change everything we thought we knew about this region. Before we dive in, I want to ask you something. Please drop a comment and let me know where you are watching from. Whether you are in Lagos, Nairobi, London, New York, or anywhere else on this planet, I want to hear from you. This story matters to all of us, so let's build this community together. Now, let me tell you what just went down. Russia's energy giant Gazprom has just discovered what might be one of the largest oil reserves ever found in Africa. And where did they find it? In Burkina Faso. Yes, that small landlocked country in the heart of West Africa that most people rarely talk about. According to the initial reports from geologists, this oil field contains an estimated 50 billion barrels of crude oil. To put that in perspective, if these numbers hold up, Burkina Faso would suddenly rank among the top 10 oil-rich nations in the entire world. This is not a small discovery. This is massive. For decades, Burkina Faso has survived on agriculture and gold mining. The economy has been modest at best. The country has faced sanctions, political instability, and constant security threats from extremist groups operating in the region. Life has not been easy for the people there, but now everything has changed. Oil has completely rewritten the script. This discovery did not happen by accident, and it did not happen because of luck. It happened because of strategy, leadership, and new alliances that Burkina Faso formed with countries willing to treat them as equals instead of colonial subjects. The man at the center of all this is Captain Ibrahim Traoré. If you have been following African politics, you already know his name. Since he came to power in 2022 through a popular military movement, Traoré has been making bold moves that have shocked the old powers in Europe. He kicked out French troops who had been stationed in Burkina Faso for years. He closed down French military bases. He told France that their era of control was over. Then he turned east and forged new partnerships with Russia, China, and neighboring countries like Mali and Niger. These were not ceremonial handshakes. These were real strategic alliances built on mutual respect and shared goals. Traoré has also been pushing a Pan-Africanist agenda. He talks constantly about African unity, self-reliance, and breaking free from neo-colonial systems that have kept the continent poor while others got rich off its resources. And now, that vision is starting to pay off in ways that even his supporters might not have imagined. The oil discovery by Gazprom is a direct result of these new relationships. Russia brought expertise, technology, and funding to the table because Traoré was willing to break away from the old Western dependency model. And what they found beneath the ground in eastern Burkina Faso, close to the Niger border, has the potential to transform the entire nation. So what does 50 billion barrels of oil actually mean for Burkina Faso? If managed correctly, the revenue from selling this oil could completely change the country. We are talking about funding for massive infrastructure projects, roads, bridges, schools, hospitals, universal education for every child, healthcare for every citizen, job creation on a scale never seen before in that country. Burkina Faso could go from being one of the poorest nations in the region to becoming a regional economic powerhouse within a generation. But here is the problem. History has shown us that oil does not always bring prosperity. In fact, for many African countries, oil has brought more problems than solutions. Look at Nigeria, one of the largest oil producers on the continent, yet millions of Nigerians still live in poverty. Look at Angola, decades of oil wealth, but corruption and inequality remain rampant. Look at Equatorial Guinea, vast oil reserves, but the wealth stays concentrated in the hands of a small elite while ordinary people struggle. This is what experts call the resource curse. It is the tragic pattern where countries rich in natural resources end up poor because the wealth gets stolen, mismanaged, or siphoned off by corrupt leaders and foreign corporations. Traoré seems to understand this danger. He has said repeatedly that any money made from Burkina Faso's resources will be reinvested directly into the people. His government is already working on new laws that will guarantee public ownership of the oil, ensure transparency in how the revenue is managed, and make sure the wealth gets distributed fairly across the country. These are not just words. His administration has invited independent observers to monitor the entire process to make sure everything is done properly. Whether he can actually deliver on these promises remains to be seen, but at least the intention is clear. Now let's talk about Russia's role in all of this. Gazprom did not just stumble into Burkina Faso by chance. This is part of a much larger Russian strategy to build stronger ties with Africa. Over the past 5 years, Russia has been signing major energy deals across the continent. They have agreements with Egypt, Algeria, and Mozambique. They have deployed private military contractors to help governments that align with Moscow. They have hosted big Russia-Africa summits to promote alternative partnerships that do not involve the West. For Russia, finding oil in Burkina Faso is not just about making money. It is also a geopolitical victory. It sends a clear message to Europe and the United States that Russia is now a major player in shaping Africa's future. And for countries like Burkina Faso, partnering with Russia means breaking away from the exploitative arrangements that have defined their relationship with the West for decades. This discovery has already sent shockwaves across West Africa. Neighboring countries are paying close attention. Mali and Niger, which have also kicked out French forces and are aligned with Traoré's vision, have expressed interest in working together on regional pipelines and oil refining facilities. Imagine a future where these three countries pool their resources and build their own infrastructure without needing permission or loans from Paris or Washington. That future is starting to look very real. Meanwhile, France is watching all of this with growing anxiety. They have lost their military presence in Burkina Faso. They have lost their influence. And now they are watching as their former colony strikes oil deals with Russia. The African Union has praised the discovery, calling it a symbol of African potential and a moment of hope. But Western media outlets have already started raising concerns about governance, transparency, and environmental risks. Traoré's government has responded by saying they welcome scrutiny and will follow international standards. On the streets of Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso, people erupted in celebration when the news broke. They waved flags, danced in the streets, and chanted in support of their president. Interviews with ordinary citizens reveal a mix of excitement and cautious hope. One university student told reporters that this feels like a miracle the country has been waiting for. But he also said that Traoré must keep his word and make sure the oil wealth benefits everyone, not just the elite. Civil society groups have already launched campaigns demanding accountability. Slogans like "Our oil, our future," and "Not one barrel for corruption" are spreading fast. But now comes the hard part. Traoré and his government face enormous challenges ahead. They need to decide whether to build refineries at home or export crude oil. They need to figure out how to manage and distribute the revenue fairly. They need to create a system that resists corruption and instability. To succeed, they will need to establish a sovereign wealth fund with citizen oversight, create jobs in the oil sector for local workers, protect the environment, and maintain balance in a world that is becoming more divided every day. This oil discovery is not just about energy or economics. It is a political and social turning point. Burkina Faso is standing at a crossroads. The decisions made today will echo for generations. With 50 billion barrels of oil beneath the ground and a new generation demanding change, this country has a real chance to rewrite its story. If you found this story important, do me a favor. Subscribe to One Africa so you never miss updates on what is really happening across the continent. Share this video with your friends and family who need to understand what is possible when African nations take control of their own destiny. And drop a comment below with your thoughts. Do you believe Burkina Faso can avoid the resource curse? What should African leaders do differently this time? Let's have that conversation. This is our story, and we are telling it ourselves.